What a night to make our debut, the NBL Gala Dinner. This is the Free Agents, brought to you by Liquorland. Lots to talk about tonight here from the Crown Palladium. We've got some packages to show you, top 10 dunks, blocks, and plays of the year. My name is Ed Wyatt. Thanks for joining us. I am the former backup point guard at Fort Vancouver High School, also the ex-media manager of the South Dragons, so everything Joe Ingles learned, he learned from me. But enough about me. Let's meet the other guys, the guys with real credibility, starting with a former Victoria Titan who now writes for NBL.com.au, keeps everybody honest with his studs and duds column, Liam Santamaria. How are you, mate?
I'm well, Ed. I'm well. Tommy, nice to be with you.
You're looking good.
Well, thank you. Put it together.
Looking very sharp.
Massive night to cap off what has been a massive regular season. We just had Chris Golding, Ty Wesley stroll by, all the big stars here tonight.
Absolutely, and putting pressure, I should say, on our other panelists tonight, and that's two-time NBL champion, former captain of the Melbourne Tigers, and you see him on Fox Sports as well, Tommy Greer. How are you, mate?
Very good, yeah, very good to be here. What a night. I mean, it just really emphasises how well the NBL is doing at the moment. So, yeah, really happy to be here.
I alluded to the fact that we got some great packages coming up. We were lucky to see these. These are sensational, but we should also talk about the awards that have been given out tonight. We've kind of ripped through them tonight. It's gone much quicker. We were sort of lazing around here, and all of a sudden, bang, you're on. So here we are.
That's how it's got to work.
I guess it is.
Move through them. We can get into the Loch Lomond straight after.
Got to be agile. We're into it, yes. Brought to you by Liquorland tonight, folks. What do we think so far? We started out with Rookie of the Year, which pretty much everyone thought was a two-man battle between Isaac Humphries and Craig Moller.
And Isaac Humphries took it out. A popular winner, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he has such a bright future in the game, and boy, did he really come on in the last part of the season when Sydney moved Jeremy Tyler out and brought Isaac Humphries into the starting lineup, and boy, didn't he speak well?
He did.
Very
he
well.
is. Yeah, very articulate. I mean, definitely a deserving winner, but for mine, I had Craig Moller picked as the Rookie of the Year candidate. I thought just the work he did for Melbourne United this year.
One miss for Tommy.
One miss for me.
Inside word is the brown shoes he wore and may have hurt
him in.
Those desert boot kind of things.
He lost some style points.
Yeah,
and
may
that
have.
was it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well,
hearing.
the NBL is very fashionable now. So.
Interesting, Isaac Humphries announcing on stage that he's going to be heading to FMP Belgrade shortly. This is the Serbian team that Jonah Bolden played for last year before getting drafted. So good opportunity for Big Isaac.
He also announced he was going to be a boomer. So I thought that was pretty good as well. Yeah, he's going to be a boomer.
He was very humble about that. I think I thought he played that very well. Now,
will he be a Sydney King next year?
Look, up in the air.
Question.
He did sort of allude to that up on stage that, you know, no one really knows what they're doing beyond the off season, do they? The free agency in the NBL this year is ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, if you're an NBL fan, it's going to be a crazy off season.
believe it or not, a couple of guys earlier came and took some selfies in front of our free agent set. So that shows exactly what's happening.
Sending it to GMs all around the league.
Now, the next award was one that, to be honest, we were a little stiff not to get to look in. The outstanding media coverage. Now, admittedly, we didn't have a show.
Yes.
No one really knew what it was. I still think we were a bit stiff. Matt Logue won the award.
Yeah, and that's a terrific result. Matt Logue from the Daily Telegraph up in Sydney. There's Chris Golding just staring us down.
He's looking a bit like Donkey from Shrek at the moment. It's looking a little bit like...
That's a good look from him.
Ty Wesley just roaming in the background.
Look at the grown man. Look at him.
Putting some pressure on, aren't they?
Yeah, Matt Logue, he's been really pumping out the pieces up there in Sydney and really representing the Sydney Kings too. And boy, for a team that was struggling for a long time, Matt Logue did a great job of, striking that balance between keeping it real and boosting that
Very
program.
hard to do, isn't it? Yeah.
And I mean, he did a fantastic job right from preseason. He actually followed the 3 NBA games, NBL preseason games, did a great job covering them, getting some good media exposure.
Speaking of which, Tommy, a bit rich not getting a look in there for...
Mate, I'm everywhere. How can I not get...
I
can't
agree.
even get not
agree.
even a nomination.
Can I just make
maybe
a
he wins
mention?
an ESPN award or something like that. Let's move on. Best sixth man. What do we think about this one? Go according to form?
That was on point for mine. I mean, Ramon Moore, he was absolutely that's a tick, Lamb.
Okay,
we're going to count him.
Balance out the
count
other one.
You got one.
He was
2.
fantastic.
You didn't get Matt Logue.
I know, I voted for myself. He was fantastic, Ramon Moore. Really game changer. I think what him and Josh Childress do for Adelaide has really taken them up a notch from the season they had last year.
So obviously Jesse Wagstaff at Perth, Shea Ili, I would say, in New Zealand, probably the two. other kind of guys in the running. You know what I'd love to see? I would love to see in the future, let's see the votes.
Yeah.
I want to see which coach,
like
assistant coach, or team captain did not vote for Ramon Moore. Obviously, the Adelaide guys, they're not allowed to. But if anyone else didn't, let's keep them accountable.
Not a bad idea.
Trying to shame, name and shame.
Name
That's
and
one for
shame.
me.
Let's do it. There we go. Best defensive player, ho-hum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damian Martin.
He is fantastic. He is
Damian
amazing.
Martin trophy tonight.
Yeah.
Well, it will be
There you
named
go.
the Damian Martin Trophy very shortly.
Can't it already be the day? Can't he win?
While he's playing?
Yes.
No.
I think that's a bit rich.
Not a fan of that.
That's a little bit
It's
rich.
like naming a high school after a guy who's still alive.
Okay.
No, I think
Yeah,
you gotta
I think
wait
that's
till
too
later.
much.
But you think this one, I mean, Mitch Creek was right there. Do you think this was a lay down Mazare?
Look, I mean, I think he really is. He's one of the only players in the NBL that can change a game defensively. He really is fantastic, getting on loose balls. I mean, for mine, it's hard to look past him every time.
He was my pick, but he wasn't everyone's pick.
No, that's
true. But because injuries have kind of slowed him down this season. But like you say, I think he is still the most impactful defender in the league. And boy, this 2-week break where he said no to the Boomers, let me get my ankle right. He got a cortisone
He's going to be
injection.
ready to go. He's going to be ready to go.
And who's he going to match up on with the Adelaide? Is it Sobey?
I think it's Sobey. I mean,
shorter?
I don't think Sobey is Adelaide's most dangerous player anymore, but I think he's more suited to locking down a Sobey. I think Creek might be too solid. I think Creek might be able to bully him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Referee of the year, let's skip that one. No one really cares.
Whoa,
Just kidding. Michael Aylett, another worthy winner. Another guy who's won it a lot.
9. This is his
that's
9th.
a lot.
Yeah.
So he
I'm getting
Tommy's
chance.
getting a whole lot
I'm
of
getting
love.
chance.
He
I should have won that
He
media
didn't
award.
left.
Yeah, I
should've
know.
won that
A
media
late
award.
charge for that.
He won it 8 times, then Vaughn Mabry stepped in, won it twice in a row.
Yeah.
Vaughn Mabry a little stiff.
I saw him actually sitting there, and he sort of threw his drink when Michael Aylett went up. Yeah. Not sort of. He did throw his drink.
Wow,
No,
really?
He was angry.
He didn't.
Furious.
I'm throwing him out.
They're
That's
on the waters, aren't they?
competitive.
The
I
refs
like
are
to see
definitely
that.
Always on the waters.
Yeah.
But speaking of 9 times, we forgot to mention with Damian Martin, that's 6 times now.
Yeah.
That's the most ever. He was tied with Darnell Mee for number 5. Nice of him to give a shout out.
Yeah. I
to
mean, when
Darnell
does
Mee.
Damian Martin miss a beat, though? Does he ever miss a beat?
It's kind of
I can't-
sickening.
I'm almost I just want to
Yeah.
want to see when he stuffs up.
He is pretty much the
Wow.
perfect guy. And the final award given out tonight, most improved player to Shea Ely.
I like it. This was my pick. They've
I
all
like
been
it
my
too.
pick. I've got them every single one
You
of
don't
them.
have. That's ridiculous.
That-
I
Yeah,
like
up and
it
coming,
because
up and coming.
yeah, like in the context of what the award is supposed to be,
Yes.
he is probably the most deserving. If you're just going
That's
on
how
like
you give it out, though, right?
no, it's no. I mean, if you just go straight on numbers for who's improved the most over the last season, from season last, Lucas Walker,
Right.
Alex Loughton, these guys are candidates. But for an up and comer, I think that Shea Ely is probably
you
number one
explained it
candidate.
really well on the broadcast a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Tick.
that
That's a
probably happened.
You said, okay, so is it straight what you did this year compared to what you did last year, or is it comparing this year to anything we've ever seen before from you as a pro?
Yeah.
Because if it's the latter,
That's the
Alex
big changer.
Loughton, Lucas Walker, they couldn't win it because they've already been impact starters
That's a good
over
point.
the journey.
Talking
Very
about
good
marking
point.
things down, can we mark down him giving me some props for that?
Yeah,
Please
yeah, that's
keep that.
maybe
Like,
the
I'll
first
put that-
time
yeah.
ever.
Ted, put that in.
You're watching the Free Agents, brought to you by Liquorland, Ed Wyatt, Liam Santamaria, and Tommy Greer. We've got top 10 plays, dunks, and blocks coming up in a little bit, but we also should look at some of the awards still to come. Of course, the all NBL teams, first and second teams, Hall of Fame, Australia Post MVP, Coach of the Year, and the big one, the MVP, all to come. So, all NBL teams, that's a tough one, isn't it?
It is.
That's really hard.
Really tough.
So
Yeah.
tough. I mean, this year, so many candidates. You could fill 3 or 4 teams with some of the performances this year. For mine, Cotton, Randall. I think Boone's got to be a lock. I think Conga's got to be a lock. He's a lot of people's pick for MVP. And then, as you start moving on beyond that point, it's pretty open-ended.
So you
for
think
mine.
that's 4 locks? I agree with you. 4 locks in the first team. We've got obviously 3 outside players, 2 inside.
Yep.
So you're going Randall, Cotton, Conga outside in the first team.
Yep.
Boone, he's the first name anybody writes down.
So now
in
you've
this
got to find an inside guy.
team. So I say it's either Daniel Johnson
It's one of the Adelaide
or Mitch
boys.
Creek.
It's one of the Adelaide
Which
boys.
way do you lean on that one?
I've had DJ penciled in as my first team guy. He's so underrated and I think he gets underrated because his lack of defense and the fact he's not a known defender. He has scored more points than anyone else since we turned to 40-minute basketball. So he's not a good scorer.
Yeah. He's not flashy either, right?
Yeah, he is a prolific scorer.
Yeah.
And he's one of the players leading Adelaide to the season that they've had, potentially onto a championship. He gets nowhere near the credit he deserves.
Correct.
And I actually think he's had his best defensive season of his career this year. I mean, they're switching 1 through 5 in that starting lineup. He's doing a much better job switching on those on-balls, keeping those guys in front of him, contesting. You know who he's not underrated by? Are the other people in the league.
That's very true.
The players and the coaches and the assistant coaches, because year in, year out, he's in these All-NBL teams.
Yep.
Yeah, very true.
He was in the first team last year. He's in the first or second team every year. I think he'll be in there, and Creek probably in the second. I got Sosa in my second team, and I think that's an unpopular opinion.
Right.
I think it is too.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Travis Trice had a fantastic season. Brisbane, not so fantastic, but he was really good for them. I think Casper Ware probably rates a mention in that point guard position as well. Ty Wesley, you would think, the grown man from Melbourne, he'd probably find himself into that second team. Yeah, I mean, so many names.
Don't envy anyone making that decision.
You know what I think will be really interesting is whether Perrin Buford lands in one of those teams.
Wow.
The voting taking place, I think, right after his departure from the league and the Bullets.
Sure, he'll be happy to fly in. And has he done a video for it?
The way he departed might not help. No. I mean, you're not winning any favours. You're not going to get that 50-50 vote from someone.
I think you're right. Let's look at a couple more guys. Australia Post Fans MVP. Do we have a thought on that? I mean,
Randall always polls well, but
people love him.
But the supporters of Adelaide and Perth get behind things like this. So I'd be looking to one of those cities.
Yep.
Wow.
Coach of the Year? I think it's probably a two-man race.
Well, I know Tommy is swaying with the wind on this
line. You're trying to be
like usual.
No.
I speak to him on Friday. He says Vickerman.
Hold on.
Saturday,
wait a minute.
Sunday, Vickerman.
How many of these have you had? More to the point. How many Loch Lamons?
Very good, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, I think maybe 7 too many.
Drink and drive responsibly,
I started out Dean Vickerman, and I get called biased for it. But I think what he did with Melbourne United and being able to manage that much talent and get them playing the kind of basketball they're playing at the moment, I think is fantastic. I have been swayed, and you'll never guess who swayed me. Corey Homicide Williams has swayed me to Joey Wright for Coach of the Year. I think the fact that you lose the MVP last year, a lot of people doubted Shannon Shorter when he came in, and they've gotten better statistically across a lot.
Now we need to get to the
I'm
top
going
10.
With Joey Vickerman.
Joey, I like it. Yeah, okay. Or Dean Wright. I'm getting the wind up that we need to go to the top 10 place. Quickly, MVP thoughts? Very quickly.
He's got a big lead.
Yeah, he's almost too far out now.
Yeah, you think so?
He's going to be tough to catch. 19 ahead.
At the leaderboard, wondering where his votes went.
Chris Golding's over there wondering why he's not up in the top 10.
He should be, actually. He
wants a bet on Coach of the Year.
We'll figure that out. Let's get to the top 10 plays. Now, this is sensational. The top 10 plays this year in the NBL. Have a look.
Another great season is in the books, so let's make this thing cook. It's your NBL Top 10 Plays of the Year. At number 10, off the steal, it's a no-look fling from Chris Golding. Over to Casper Ware, who takes to the air, and the apparition is on a mission as Casper goes reverse with a burst for Melbourne at number 10.
Off the glass. There's some chemistry between them finally.
On to number 9, and this is D-Lish from K-Lish. Shakier than a coin-operated bed as he flat drops the D before knocking down the 3 for Sydney. Kevin Lish is nasty at number 9.
Ankles broken. 3-point shot from Kevin Lish.
At number 8, time winding down, but Casey Prather winding up. Half-court buzzer beater and crowd pleaser. Off the glass with class to get Casey Prather in at number 8 for Melbourne.
From outside, drops the baskets.
On to number 7, and it's Rodney Clark dropping in from heaven. More hang time than the Mona Lisa as he shows, then flows to the other side with a little reverse glide, allowing the Rot to drop the shot at number 7 for Illawarra.
That's a tough shot and an even better finish.
At number 6, it's a 3/4 court flyer from Big Greg Heyer. How in the world does the Perth Wildcat do that? Greg Heyer with the long-range tricks gets in at number 6. On to number 5, time running out and down 1. Mitch Norton lets fly and then says goodbye. Leaving New Zealand reeling, it's Norton without a doubt from the Chemist Warehouse, getting Illawarra the win and in at number 5. Moving on to number 4, it's JP Tokato launching to the moon for the rebound before the no-look to Derek Cook for the throwdown. It's Cook Jr. with the hammer throw off the dish from Tokato at number 4 for Perth. We're sticking with Perth at number 3. Bryce Cotton, colder than a frozen caveman's heart as he rips Brisbane apart. Cotton rises and shines before tickling the twine for another moment of fame to end the game he's in at number 3.
Bryce Cotton!
At number 2, it's Edgar with a play to remember. Sosa beats the clock with the Rock getting the game-winning shot. It's victory for New Zealand, and it's in at number 2.
Sosa comes up with the enormous play.
But at number 1, this one went around the world and back. Travis Trice hotter than a globetrotter as he slides to the hardwood, but keeps things on track before going behind the back to Daniel Kickert for a little dessert as the crowd goes berserk. Travis Trice with the play of the year gets Brisbane in at number 1 on the NBL Top 10.
Very good. Now,
Outstanding.
Ed Wyatt, Liam Santamaria. Tommy Greer no longer with us. He's gone to a better place. Tommy, are you there? He's got Ty Wesley, I think.
Here with the grown man of the NBL and Melbourne United, Ty Wesley. Ty, what a night.
Yeah, you know, the Kesselmans know how to put on a show, so yeah, it's been crazy, very glamorous and high class, so we're enjoying it. Yeah.
And you look very dapper tonight, mate. Very well dressed. Probably best Melbourne United's put on show, I reckon. But looks like you're playing a little bit of Insta husband here tonight.
Yes, my wife has had me take and be in about 4 million photos. So yeah, those will be up on the gram in about 45 seconds. So stay tuned.
And what about tonight? Obviously, we're here to honour the NBL MVP of 2017-18. Who's your pick to go home with the trophy?
You know, for me, I got to pick my guy Josh Boone. You know, he's been a double-double machine all year. Been our rock for us defensively and offensively. So that's my tip, Josh Boone for MVP 2018.
All right, now you know Bryce Cotton's got a 19-point head start over second position. You still running with Josh Boone?
I have to still go with my guy. You know, we finished on top of the ladder. That should hold some weight, don't you think?
Yeah. Obviously, you guys, finishing on top of the ladder, fantastic season for Melbourne United. But you guys have done this before. But you were playing. You were playing for the other team. So, what? I mean, how weird is this series going to be for you? You were recruited to Melbourne because of that series.
Yeah, it'll be a little weird, but this is a different team. We have a different culture. I think a very different culture, a very different buzz going around the club this year. Me being on the other side, we're very confident going into the series. We got home court, and we're looking to take advantage of that.
All right, and just finally, you're going to make that All-NBL first team. What do you think?
You tell me. I don't know. But yeah, if I don't, I'll be happy with whatever. Had a good year, and just enjoying my night.
All right, Ty, thanks very much for your time, mate. I think it'd be a massive shame if you didn't make that NBL All-First Team. Fantastic season. Back to you, boys.
Thank you, Tommy. Tommy Greer and Ty Wesley, former Utah State
Sorry,
Aggie.
you got cut.
Ty Wesley. Now, this is brought to you tonight by Liquorland. This is, if you like your scotch, this is very good. Loch Lomond. We've been very kind to have some of us delivered here, but we're going to show you now a little bit about Loch Lomond, where it comes from and what it's all about. Have a look.
The story of Scotch whisky is the story of the land and the water, of people and their passion. The Loch Lomond Group story is the story of a family who, across generations, have passed down the art and the craft of making some of the finest malts and blended whiskies in the world, with a keen eye for independence and innovation. We begin our story in Campbelltown, the Victorian capital of whisky, and today one of Scotland's 5 designated whisky regions. Once home to over 30 distilleries, this tiny port on the western coast is where we've been making Glen Scotia malt whiskies since 1832. As one of Campbelltown's original distilleries, we continue to produce our single malts with the same care, passion and craftsmanship as they have done for generations. Loch Lomond is one of the most famous and iconic places in Scotland. Its natural beauty means its name, our name, is on the lips of millions. Established here in the 19th century, we continue to invest in our distillery, with state-of-the-art stills and facilities producing the highest quality whiskies. Our distillery is the only one in Scotland producing single malts and grain whisky on the same site, offering great flexibility both for our branded business and our bulk consumers around the world. And it's on that site that our whiskies mature, where we step back and let nature, the seasons, and time itself take over. Even the casks have a story at Loch Lomond. Before we fill the casks with our malts or our grain whisky, our on-site coopers give them the care and attention required. And when it's time to open the casks, it's the skill and passion of our master blender Michael Henry and his ability to combine the science and the art of whisky making that means we have been producing some of the most sought-after blended whiskies for over 100 years. High Commissioner is Highland blended whisky at its best. Perfected since 1856, it's now one of the UK's best-selling blended whiskies. Our Loch Lomond malts and blends are much loved for their balanced character, with our fruitier variants in the Inchmurren collection and the peatier ones under Inchmoan. Glen Scotia and the increasingly rare Little Mill also have their own admirers throughout 112 countries in Europe, the Americas, Africa, Asia and Australia. Our award-winning range keeps developing, with 18 and 25-year-old malts, single casks and limited editions to satisfy a growing demand for quality and sophistication.
Welcome back to the Free Agents. You've already seen the plays of the year. Now we've got something, Liam, I know this is something you can relate to as the king of dunking.
Yes, the dunk.
This is the top 10 dunks of the year. Have a look.
It's time once again for Denials at the Rim. It's your NBL top 10 blocks of the year. We start at number 10, coming from off the ball, but he got it all. Andrew Ogilvy getting obscene on Raheem as he swats this thing. Big Mr. Ogilvy showing his presence to Christmas at number 10.
Hey, Christmas, some chin music.
On to number 9 and tracking back and smacking, that is Michael Carrera. Flying nearly into the stands to sacrifice his body for cans gets Carrera in at number 9. Moving along to number 8, and that's nothing but pumpkin as Todd Blanchfield skies to deny Rob Lowe for the Sydney Kings at number 8.
Oh my goodness, Todd Blanchfield!
At number 7, it's Rodney Clark on the run out, but that's not going in on Finn. Finn Diesel quicker than a half-life of a lightning strike as he races to the rim to prevent that from going in. Delaney getting in for New Zealand at number 7.
Great timing by Finn Delaney.
On to number 6, and Clint Steindel's a shooter, but oh my Josh, no chill on J-Chill as he swats the pill, getting the Perth Wildcats in at number 6.
Clint Steindl did the block.
At number 5, Nathan Sobey going strong to the rack, but Air Pierre don't care as he gets the southpaw swat on this shot. Wearing number 5, JP Tokato gets in at number 5 for Perth. But fortunes change at number 4 as Casey Prather rises just a little more. JP Tokato bringing the springs, but Casey Prather ends this thing at number 4 for Melbourne. On to number 3, and that's Agent 97 flying in from heaven to flat deny Jordan Naitai. Jared Weeks with the strong rejection gets in at number 3 for Cam. At number 2, back in the States, Carrick Felix played with LeBron James, but here on Finn Delaney, he's bringing his own style of pain. Flying along the baseline for a big D9 gets Carrick Felix in at number 2 for Melbourne.
Rejected by Felix.
But at number 1 with 2 hands like a man, it's Demetrius Conger, and it doesn't get any stronger. Conger doing Bryce Cotton rotten to drop in at number 1 on the Blocks of the Year edition of the NBL Top 10.
Newsflash.
And I'll tell you, it's funny you're talking about Liam's dunking, because I got to tell you, every time he tried to dunk, that's exactly what happened. Exactly. I've seen it.
There we go.
I saw it every single time.
It was the double-handed slap away.
That obviously was our top 10 blocks.
Indeed.
Now we will give you the top 10 dunks.
More my scene.
Here we go.
Buckle up for flight time. It's the top 10 dunks of the year in the NBL. We get you started at number 10. It's Illawarra's Demetrius Conger. Stronger than Brute Cologne as he goes soaring to the throne to throw this one home. That gets in at number 10.
Slashed and slammed.
On to number 9, and it's Junior Derek Cook Jr. rising to the ceiling with feeling on the business end of this alley-oop at the hoop. He throws this one through for the Perth Wildcats to get in at number 9. Moving along now, what's top 10 without Casey Prather? He gets in at number 8, going airborne for Melbourne. Wearing number 23, he's set free from the laws of gravity on this rim spree that lands him at number 8. At number 7, the man is more electrifying than a down power line. It's JP Tokato with the two-handed hammer throw, and Air Pierre just hanging around up there, putting Perth in at number 7. On to number 6, and on the countdown for a second time, it's Demetrius Conger along the baseline. Dude's got more hops than a frog on a flaming log, as this reverse stuff is enough for number 6.
It's Conger showing us his tricks.
We're into the top 5 now with money-making Mitch getting rich at the rim as he hammers this one in. Mitch McCarron in the air and hanging around to throw this one down with the left for Cairns at number 5. On to number 4, and it's Isaac Humphries on defense, but pairing it and Karen as he sprains Humphries' soul at the goal. And how about a little stare after the flare in the air? Perrin Buford in at number 4 for Brisbane. At number 3, once again, it's Demetrius Conger breaking free. And it's a bad double feature for Isaac Humphries as back-to-back he gets attacked at the rack. But to his credit, Humphries goes up. However, Conger hangs up there a little longer as Big Meech gets in at number 3. On to number 2, and it's Carrick Felix, arriving with bad intentions like a grizzly bear at a barbecue as he slams this one through before Thomas Abercrombie even knew what to do. Carrick Felix eventually does land, and when he does, he's in at number 2. But at number 1, this one was a no-doubter. Agent 97 shredding the D like a shark shreds the sea. Jared Weeks bringing the truth from the roof on Anthony Drimmick. And this slam for Cairns lands at number 1 on the Dunks edition of the NBL Top 10.
Some serious slams in there. Tommy, you happy with that? 1, 2, what do you think?
I don't know. I reckon Carrick Felix was a little bit underdone. I mean, he dunked on the best shot blocker in the NBL. Abercrombie had 7 blocks in a game. Carrick Felix just rose up and threw it down.
Yeah,
Liam?
Felix was good. Weeks was better, and I'll tell you why. Nana Egwu. best celebration of the season. Combine it with one of the best dunks.
It's
Number
not
one.
best celebration.
We gotta
Number
go,
one. That's
boys.
dunk.
Tommy Greer,
Number
great
one.
to see you. Liam Santamaria, great to see you. We've been the free agents. Thanks to Liquorland. We hope to see you during the finals. Right now, it's back to the gala and Ricky Lee.